Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. Well, the years go by quickly, and my last year of fishing really taught me a lot. But one of the things I wanted to pass on today that I've come to realize, because I was able to give more time this last summer to fishing some of our tributaries. And here's my point, and here's something I want you to sort of take home and think about. I believe it takes a year to learn a body of water. That may sound like an awful long time. And of course, some of us in a year's time fish every day, and some of us only go out a few times. But the more often you can visit the same body of water, the more you can learn about how to fish it, what the fish do, how they react to things, the food that they eat. And I can use the Grass River as an example. I would fish the same stretch time after time this year. It got to be so I knew exactly where I could walk safely. The areas that all looked the same, but yet some of them held fish, some of them didn't. Certain rocks that looked like the fish would be by them, and they wouldn't be, but I learned other rocks where I knew every time I approached that area, there was going to be a fish using that rock as shelter. And so these are things that I came to learn. I came to learn what time of year certain type of baits would work best in that water. Wouldn't have known that if I hadn't fished it so often. So, and here's another example. For years and years, I hardly ever fished the Raquette River. Really didn't have the means to do it. I didn't think it would be nearly as good fishing as the Grass River or the St. Regis River or the Deer River. But over the last couple of years, I've started to fish the Raquette River, and it's become, oh my goodness, it's become one of my favorites. I think it's wonderful, but it has completely different characteristics than the Grass. And I fish it in a different way, and I use different lures that seem to work better there in the Raquette, but I still don't know it as well. And the other thing about the Raquette is you have water level fluctuations by the dams that you don't have the same in the Grass or the Deer River. And so that is always a challenge. But again, I really believe it takes a year to learn a body of water. It takes a year to learn how to wade it, how to drift it, what sections are going to be essentially a waste of your time. Because remember that point that 90% of any water you go to is not going to have any fish in it. Those 90% of the fish are going to live in 10% of the water. So always keep that in your mind, and that's why it's really important to learn whatever water you go to. And visitors, when you're on vacation, you don't have that luxury. It makes it a lot more of a challenge, and that's why when you do go to a new body of water, it always is best if you can ask locals, if you can go into a local bait shop and talk to people there. It can save you an awful lot of time of experimenting. And if we're on vacation, a lot of times we only have so much time. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.